This is people filing into the building right now. I am up by the front and I'll have to find my spot later. But I just want to get a video outside while I still got some signal. This is going to be awesome, you guys. People are backed up to the QE2. They're estimating maybe 11,000 people here. This is going to be bizarre. It's about to begin, but I wanted to give you guys a little snippet of it because the sound reception is so bad here that you can't even like, hey, you can't even, you actually can't even get in the building and do a live. So I'm just showing you guys a little bit of what's going on here. People are backed up to the QE2 on the highway. This is absolutely insane, you guys. This is amazing. People are filing in from the side of the highway. I'll flip this around so I can show you. You can see people have parked way over there. They are guesstimating that it'll be about 11,000 people. This is gonna be nuts, you guys. I'm gonna do some of the walking down the path here where the other people are going, just to kind of show it. But here's the building. It's massive. And go ahead.
Thank you.
And yeah, so first people that got here were parking in the lot over here. And now you can see there's people pumping into this building like I've never seen before. It's huge. It goes all the way to the back. It's like empty inside, and this is where they have the stage in behind the glass here. This is absolutely amazing. So there's some other guys here, like the pleb is here. He was interviewing some people earlier. I think he's inside by now, but he can't get any connection in there, so at least not for live streaming. This is just crazy. There you go. Flip this again. Yeah, so it is a swarm. Like, it's bizarre in there. I wanted to give you guys a snippet of what it's like. So, hey, you guys. Thanks for joining. And this is going to be like the biggest we've seen yet, I think. I don't think there'll be one bigger. We'll see. We're going to break records tonight, guys. This is going to be freaking awesome. So many people. And there's the, there it is to the inside. I'll see if maybe I can get a little bit of it inside, but I was already in there and the connection was really bad, so we'll see how fast it kicks out. Holy smokes. Look at the size of this building. This is awesome. Hey, how you doing?
Good job, good job.
Good job. Just walking in the building now. They're letting us in early because it's going to rain. So this is awesome. They're just getting ready. building is massive, guys. This is going to be amazing. Loads and loads of people. There are way more people to come. People are still trying to find parking in the lot there. Still driving in. There's lives going on from outside the building. Unfortunately, it's like the signal's so bad in here you can't get a live in here. So just getting some footage, and we're right by the stage, which is totally awesome. It's going to be so cool to see how this goes.
Conservatives, can you do me a little bit of a favor? Can you turn the lights on your phone on right now? We need this to light this place up. Let's really see how many people are out here right now. Let's light this place up. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. To our 22nd Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Stephen. Thanks to Chief Moran, the next member of Parliament for Edmonton Northwest. Wow, what a fantastic crowd. Thank you, Edmonton. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making yourself a positive part of the most important decision that this country is going to make in decades. Canada right now needs change more desperately than it perhaps ever has. And it needs someone to lead that change, my friends. As someone who had the honor of serving as your Prime Minister, I know that being Prime Minister is a trust. It is a trust to take this incredible country that our ancestors bequeathed us and to leave it stronger, more united, more compassionate, and more confident than we found it. That's what we did, my friends. But that is not the story of the past decade, and that has got to change. That both of the men running to be Prime Minister once worked for me. And in that regard, my choice, without hesitation, without equivocation, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre. For a quarter of a century. Since he was a very young man, the first time I met him, I could see that he was smart, articulate, possessing tremendous passion for our country and strong convictions about sound public policy. In 2004, during the time of my leadership, Pierre's parliamentary career began. He went progressively from a backbench MP, to a parliamentary secretary, to a junior cabinet minister, to a senior cabinet minister, and of course, to party leader. And in all of those roles, he worked, he fought, and he learned. Because it is not just that Pierre excelled in all of those roles. In all of them, he grew. He got better and better. Friends, don't let anyone tell you that he was born to be Prime Minister, or that he can just somehow parachute into the job fully prepared. Political experience, elected, accountable political experience, and the capacity for growth with that political experience, that is what Pierre has demonstrated for 2 decades, and that is the single most important characteristic of Prime Minister leadership. And by the way, I say that as the guy who actually did lead Canada through the global financial crisis. I hear there's someone else claiming it was him. It was, of course, our governor, the late, great Jim Flaherty. Our conservative team were responsible for the day-to-day macroeconomic management during that challenging time. And friends, it's no secret that our country faces today another historically challenging time in the form of the Trump administration. There is no sugarcoating that. But the bulk of the problems that afflict our country, falling living standards, declining employment and housing opportunities, rising crime, the growing divisions between our regions and our people, these were not created by Donald Trump. They were created by the policies of 3 Liberal terms policies that the present Prime Minister supported and wants to continue. Pierre has consistently opposed those policies. Policies that have put costs up, accelerated crime, left our wealth in the ground, and made our economy vulnerable and under America's thumb. And Pierre has, just as importantly, long advocated the positive alternatives for change, to axe those taxes, build homes, bring back jobs, get our resources to the whole world. And stand up to Washington from a position of strength. I believe that the challenge this country faces today from the United States, as real and serious as it is, should not be another excuse for Liberal failure. Instead, it should be a historic opportunity. That's how we've got to see it. An opportunity to make Canada what it should be. A truly independent economy with the highest living standards in the world. And with those benefits, enjoyed not just by protected elites, but by all the people of this country in every region of this country. Because that goal does not depend on Donald Trump, it depends on us. But we will only get there with leadership from a person who has an actual policy plan, from a person who has been right on all the big issues for a decade, and a person who has the energy and, yes, the youth to take us forward into a better, stronger, and more united future. That person has been my colleague, he is my friend, he is our leader, and he is the next Prime Minister of Canada. Pierre Poilievre.
Who's ready for change in Canada? Who's ready to axe the taxes? Who's ready to build some homes? Who's ready for some pipelines to make us independent? And who's ready to put Canada first for a change? Political gathering of the 21st century. Let's just take a moment and go back 10 years. 10 years ago, inflation was rock bottom, so were interest rates. Taxes were falling faster than at any time in our history. The budget was balanced, and crime had fallen by 25% because we locked up the worst criminals and left law-abiding hunters and sport shooters to enjoy their property. In fact, small towns were so safe, many people didn't even bother locking doors. Housing, cost half of what it does today. I would know, I was the housing minister at the time. And you could rent the average apartment for under $1,000 a month. Take-home pay had gone up 10% above and beyond inflation and interest rates and taxes. The New York Times had just declared that Canada had the richest middle class in the world. Yes, when this Liberal government first took office, Canada was the richest and safest country anywhere around. We were a beautiful place to live with boundless opportunity. And yet, a decade later, what do we see when we look around us? Inflation, already having hit a 40-year high, is now once again on the rise. Housing costs have more than doubled after Liberals promised to lower them. Canadian homes now cost 50% more than they do in the United States. And you can actually buy a castle in Sweden for a lower price than a house in Kitchener today. Canada has the second slowest building permits in the OECD. Nothing can get built. We're very hard on entrepreneurs and law-abiding hunters under this Liberal government, but very easy on criminals who shoot up our streets and have doubled gun crime across this country. The economy is shrinking. It is smaller today in per capita terms than it was a decade ago. We've lost $500 billion of net investment flowing out of our country into the welcoming arms of the United States. My friends, this is the lost Liberal decade, and the choice in this election is whether we are going to allow a fourth term of rising costs and crime and a falling economy, or whether it is time for a new conservative government that will put Canada first for a change. We cannot trust Mark Carney to put our country first. He never has, he never will. We need an end to the long, Liberal, lost decade. It is time for a change in the new era. We're going to take back control of our economic lives. You know, we've all been chanting, bring it home today. That term, that expression, has very real meaning. One, we're going to bring home our production and paychecks from abroad. And two, you are going to bring home more of your hard-earned paycheck. And our Bring It Home plan starts with a big patriotic tax cut on work, investment, energy, and home building. We will lead the charge to reward hard work by cutting income tax by 15% for the average worker and senior. This tax cut will enable our workers to gain more by putting in an extra hour, earning a bonus, or getting a promotion. It will allow our families to spend more money at our local businesses, giving us a boost at a time when our economy is weak and under attack. And it will ensure that dollars are left in the hands of the person who earned them instead of in the hands of the politician who taxed them. Bringing it home means favoring the things that are made here at home. And that's why we've announced we will axe the sales tax on all Canadian-made cars. Let's create some jobs for all the workers. And then there's the famous carbon tax. Now remember, up until only a few months ago, the Liberals were telling us that the entire planet was going to be lit on fire if we didn't pay a 61-cent a liter carbon tax at the pumps. They passed that into law, a law that is still in place today. But in order to make you forget about their carbon tax, 28 days before the election, they decided to hide it from the gas pumps. Don't worry, if God forbid they are re-elected, the tax will be back by May 1st. Remember, the day they took it off at the pump was April 1st, April Fool's Day. But Canadians are not fools. They know that Mark Carney has openly said he wants a higher tax and that he wants it to apply on Canadian industry. That's another thing he and Trump had in common. They both want to tax our industry, Trump with tariffs and Carney with carbon taxes. Well, my friends, with me, there is no doubt. There has been no equivocation my entire career in public service. I will axe the tax for everyone, for everything, for real, for good, forever. And then there's the tax on our investment. Canadian workers only get 55 cents of investment for every dollar an American worker gets. That's why we generate in Canada 50 bucks an hour worked. If you take our GDP, divide it by the number of hours we work, it works out to 50 bucks in US. In America, it's $83. So they're making more than 50% above what we make in our work. Why is that? We have better workers than they do. Our workers work harder, but they don't get the tools and technology because we punish investment in this country. Recently, the Liberals tried to raise the capital gains tax to punish our entrepreneurs. We need to do exactly the opposite, and that is why I have announced the Canada First reinvestment tax cut. Zero capital gains tax when you reinvest your gains in Canada to create. And then there's the worst tax of all, the inflation tax. Now, inflation tax is when the government doesn't want you to know they're taking your money. So instead of passing a law to raise your burden out in the open, they just print more money to fund their irresponsible spending. This floods the economy with cheap cash. So in a 4-year period, while Mark Carney was the economic advisor to Justin Trudeau, the money supply grew from $1.8 trillion to $2.5 trillion, a 40% increase in the amount of bills, coins, and bank deposits, during which time the real economy grew by 4%. So the money grew 10 times faster than the stuff that money buys. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's a buck an apple. Double the dollars to 20, but still have 10 apples, you're not twice as rich. It's just each apple now costs twice as much. That's inflation. Now, it's great news if you work for Brookfield, right? Because that inflation, according to the CEO of Brookfield and best buddy of Mark Carney, that inflation allowed them to raise rent on tenants, allowed their assets to be artificially inflated, allowed them to fill their pockets by sitting on their big assets. Meanwhile, the working class wage and the senior's pension gets chewed up. It's not that things cost more, it's that your money is worth less. It is a transfer of wealth from the have-nots to the have-yots. And it is the worst kind of tax possible. When I'm Prime Minister, we will cut back on the spending that causes inflation in the first place. We will cut bureaucracy, consultants, handouts to corporate insiders, and we will cut foreign aid to dictators, terrorists, and global bureaucracy. And we'll bring in a common sense law. My mother is here. She used to have those coupon books. Did you ever have those? Anybody have those? Remember when you used to sell those coupon books? My mother would drive clear across Calgary to go to a restaurant to get beef on a bun that would have a coupon savings on it. She knew how to squeeze every drop of value out of every single dollar. That's what our government should be doing. We should be getting value for money. Now, here's the reason that never happens. Politicians are always spending other people's money. While every other creature in the universe has to live with scarcity, the politician just passes the bill on to you. We will pass a dollar-for-dollar law. It requires we find $1 of savings for every new dollar spending, forcing politicians and bureaucrats to make trade-offs between this or that, or get a bargain on this and that. Because you've been pinching your pennies long enough, it's time for government in Ottawa to pinch pennies too. By the way, this was another case of something that Mark Carney got dead wrong. He was asked in 2021, 4 years ago, as a former central banker, are you worried about inflation? He said, no, I'm worried that prices might actually go down. He then said, but he hoped there would be inflation because he thought that would be very good. Well, just like on the carbon tax where Mark Carney was wrong, just like on blocking pipelines where he was wrong, printing money and causing inflation did more damage on every single issue economic of our time. Mark Carney has been wrong. He is wrong in the past and he is wrong for our future. And then we're going to tackle housing. We have the most expensive housing in the G7 after the lost Liberal decade. But most of the cost is just bureaucracy and taxes. That is why a Canada First Conservative government will lead the way. We will axe the sales tax on new homes to save you up to $65,000. We will incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development taxes. We'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build. And you know something? It warms my heart to think of the beautiful family rolling up in their U-Haul to move into their wonderful new home in the former headquarters of the CBC. I love you too. I love you. I love you. I love this province. I think it's, we got to talk to a scientist or something. I swear the sky is actually bigger in Alberta. I think it is. There's got to be an explanation. But that's why it feels like there's boundless potential in this province, and there is for this whole country. But we have to bring home our jobs to make it happen. And that starts by repealing the No Development Law C-69 to build pipelines. Then there's the production cap. Liberals want to cap energy production in Canada. The Americans, the Venezuelans, the Saudi Arabians, the Russians increasingly dominate the global energy market. They want to push our jobs and production out of Canada. Now there was some hope that Mark Carney might flip-flop on that, having supported bans on pipelines his entire career over the last 10 years. But he confirmed just last week that if he is re-elected as Prime Minister, he will keep the anti-development law C-69, he will keep the production cap, and in his words, he will keep 80% of Canada's oil in the ground. We're going to do precisely the opposite. A common sense, Canada First government will repeal the production cap, remove C-69, and commit to the aim of approving major projects in under 6 months. Do it! More than that, we got to do even better. We're actually going to pre-approve permits. So instead of waiting 6 months, imagine this. Imagine if we sit down, we look at a map, we say, well, this would be a great place to build a nuclear plant. Let's do the research and study, let's line it up with the First Nations, the municipal governments in the province. Let's publish online all the specs, standards, and safety requirements. And let's pre-issue the permit. In other words, create a shovel-ready zone so the industry can show up and just start building things. What do you think? Yep. We have incredible potential. We've got the shortest shipping distances to Asia for our natural gas. It takes 11 days from BC and 20 days from the U.S. Gulf Coast. We've got cold weather that helps liquefy that gas, right? 25% cheaper. It gets cold in Canada. In fact, it was so cold in Ottawa last winter, there were Liberals seen with hands in their own pockets. That same cold weather is perfect for data centers. You know, these incredible data centers need electricity. Microsoft, Meta, Google, they're going to have their own nuclear power plants to charge up these data centers. It takes 10 times as much electricity to do a ChatGPT search than it does a Google search. So to power these things up, we have this surplus of energy. We could be using our gas, our nuclear, our hydro, if we could get the permits done. You know, artificial intelligence is all the rage these days. We have lots of artificial intelligence in the government. It's a bit of a different kind though. But we need to cut red tape, federal red tape, and I will cut it by 25%. Yeah! And every time a new regulation comes in, we will be required by law to get rid of 2 previous regulations. So the state and the power in Ottawa is always diminishing. We're going to unlock the potential of our Western energy-producing provinces. And when I become Prime Minister, the era of Liberals telling the West to pay up and shut up will be over forever. But if you want to build things, you need people who know how to build. We need boots, not suits. Do we have any trades workers in the house today? Trades workers. What do we got here? You're waving. What is your trade? What's your trade? Mechanical insulator. Very important trade. What else do we got here? What do we got? This guy here. Plumber. Well, you certainly know you miss a plumber when you don't have one, right? And what do we got over here? Welder? Excellent. Guy joins metals. Give it up for the trades workers. You know, Stephen Harper was in the trades as well. Do you know that? He was a cabinet maker. He had a really good cabinet. Way better than the Liberal cabinet. And we're going to have another great cabinet after the election. But I want to acknowledge a great union leader fighting for the Boilermakers. We have Arnie Stadnik. Thank you for your support, Arnie. Arnie, are we going to build some nuclear power plants in Canada?
Yes.
Now, I think university is great. A white-collar education is excellent. But all of our resources in this country have been favoring one kind of education over another. We need to start to honor the trades. My government is going to put aside the funds to train 350,000 young people to go through apprenticeships get their journeyman's ticket, and get working building things across this country. We will bring back Stephen Harper's $4,000 apprenticeship grant that the Liberals recently canceled. And I will be giving a big, beautiful present to every high school principal. I know education is provincial, but there's nothing in the Constitution that says a Prime Minister can't give a present to a principal. It's going to be a box about the size of this stage. In that box will be a module for how to do a pre-apprenticeship for every single licensed trade, so we can get our 14-year-olds training for trades before they graduate from school. And I need your help on it. We're going to need these amazing union training halls to get our young people started, getting them a trade. I tell all young people, get a trade, you will always have a job. And we want you to have that job in a safe neighborhood. And so we are going to stop the crime. Over the last lost Liberal decade, we've seen record chaos explode on our streets. Just moments before I walked on the stage, I met with a lovely young lady, Christina Tran. She's here with us today. Her father was a patriotic, law-abiding, decent man. And one day, he was out for a walk in Chinatown, and he was viciously attacked and killed by a rampant offender who was once again out on bail.
We love you, Pierre!
Love you
This seems like a guns. Thanks for hanging in there with me, everybody. Thanks for hanging in. Thank you very much, especially you folks up there. You have very powerful eardrums. You were able to hear me the whole time. Then there's the guns, illegal guns, that are pouring in from the United States through the Liberal government's weak management of our border. Only 1% of shipping containers are actually inspected. And that's how the guns are coming in. We're going to scan the containers, hire 2,000 CBSA frontline officers, bring in watchtowers that can scan the horizon of our frontiers to keep crime, drugs, stolen cars, and other illegal substances out of our country. And I'll tell you how we're going to pay for it. We're going to cancel the ridiculous multi-billion-dollar gun grab that targets licensed law. The Liberals will ban every single hunting rifle in this country. Spread the message far and wide. What are you guys cheering for over there? That's a bad thing. Oh, your speaker came on. Oh, wow, okay. Now I know if there's a random cheer what it's all about. I was just complaining about the Liberals. You guys started cheering. Like, what the heck? All right, what I was saying is that the Liberals want to ban your hunting rifle. You think it's a good idea? Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle is not the problem. I want to protect Canadians from criminals. Liberals want to protect turkeys from hunters. Canadians will have to decide in election time because the choice will be between a fourth term of rising costs and crime and a falling economy under America's thumb, or a new conservative government that will axe taxes, build homes, unleash our resources, and bring home our jobs so we can stand up to the Americans with strength for a change. And strength means that we must rebuild Canada's military. The Canadian forces. Do we have any veterans here in the house today? Give it up for our veterans. What an incredible honor. There he is. Look at this fellow here. He has D-Day on. Good to see you, sir. Where did you serve?
The Canadian Navy in the Second World War.
How old were you at Juno Beach?
I was 19.
What a hero. What an incredible hero. We have to make this a country that is worthy of that hero's sacrifice. We will honor our veterans. We will ensure that the young and the old have the support they need for a dignified life. We will also rebuild the armed forces, cutting back on bureaucracy, procurement boondoggles, and putting the money into frontline support for our troops. We will reinvest to buy 4 massive Arctic icebreakers. We will double the size of the first patrol of the Arctic Rangers so that we can reclaim our north. We will have the first northern Arctic base in Canada since the Cold War, CFB at Iqaluit. And as my wife just reminded me, Our soldiers, sailors, and airmen will be guided by a warrior culture, not a woke culture. We will expand our cadet corps so that our young people can take mentorship from our military, our veterans, and our rangers, allowing our youth to learn about survivalism, riflery, service, and country. We will unite around common purpose, common values, common history, and our common commitment to the Canadian promise. We will fix the immigration system the Liberals have broken by rejecting the Radical Century initiative that proposes to triple the population to 100 million. And instead, while we welcome immigrants and we have the best immigration system in the world under Stephen Harper, we want to ensure that never again does our population grow faster than our housing stock, our jobs, and our health care. When immigrants come here with talents and skills, we'll make sure they can put them to the use. We have 20,000 immigrant doctors, 32,000 immigrant nurses who cannot work in our hospital system. We will create a national Blue Seal system so they can prove they're qualified, get to work, bigger paychecks, reduce wait times. The Canadian promise for them, just like all of us. Will unite our country around our history. There will be no more tearing down our statues. We will honor our past. Addressing the wrongs of the past is not about tearing down our history. It is about building it up. Let's build new statues to other heroes that have yet to be celebrated. Let's ensure that everyone can be celebrated as part of this great Canadian family. Let's put Terry Fox, the famous five, and our soldiers back at the passport. We will be a self-reliant, sovereign people that stands on its own 2 feet and bows before no nation. We will harvest our resources, trade together, build homes for our youth, secure our borders, protect our vulnerable, and stand up as we raise our flag. We are not a nation of tax collectors and toll masters, of bureaucrats and busybodies, of gatekeepers and grandees, of rulers and rule makers. No, we are a nation of artists and adventurers, of entrepreneurs and explorers, of workers and warriors, of pioneers and patriots. What binds us together is the Canadian promise that anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. That if you work hard, you can have a great life in a beautiful home on a safe street under our proud flag. That is the promise that I hold out as hope to those who are on the brink of giving up. If you are one of those today whose bank account and fridge have just both gone empty, my message to you is have hope, change is on the way. If you are an auto worker or an energy worker worried about losing your job, have hope, change is on the way for you too. If you are addicted to drugs but determined to turn your life around and looking for a place to get help, you are not alone. Have hope. Hang on. Help is on the way for you too. We are going to bind this nation together. A united people committed to our promise and expanding it to all under our proud flag. Canada first. Let's bring it home.
Be free, Canada.